Hi, my name is Susan McCracken. I am the Director of Career Development and Economic Engagement here at Appalachian State University. I want to welcome you to Parent Family Weekend, Spring 2021. And in this short presentation and video, I'm going to talk about the resources and services that are available to students at Appalachian State University via the Career Development Center. So let's get started. First of all, our mission in the Career Development Center is to encourage students to explore their career paths, to identify and develop the skills, and then to find experiential opportunities to test their skills and refine those skills. Our goal is for students to feel confident in the decisions that are available to them and the choices that they have when they finish their undergraduate degree. We really want students to feel good about making a decision to go to graduate school and that they're making that decision for the right reasons. What we have found, what I have personally experienced this year with my own children, as well as the students here at Appalachian, is that many of our students have really, their confidence has been shaken because of the pandemic. They've not had the opportunity to do the internship that they thought they would do in summer 2020. They've not had a chance to get the part-time job they had hoped to have, or to have the engagement on campus with clubs and organizations. However, they have developed a lot of other skills and traits, and they've really, I think for many of them, perhaps most of them, really refined what their values are. And those are all really critical pieces to helping them gain confidence to seek what they're going to do after graduation. We also provide services to students who are in graduate school, and our services are available to students after they graduate. We don't have a limit on how we serve students, but we do hope that students will see us before they actually earn their degree. So let's talk a little bit about all the things that we do. Our office is very, very fortunate that we really span the entire scope of career and professional development for a student at Appalachian State University. Most students have their first contact with us through student employment, or they come in for a career exploration appointment to talk about what they might want to major in. Career coaches are available at the college level, and the Walker College of Business does have sort of a niche career center called the Business Career Services that's located in Peacock Hall. We are often called upon to do workshops about resumes or help students with their resume, whether that's a first-year student who's trying to figure out what they want their resume to look like when they graduate, or it's someone who is interviewing and ready to really be out there in the job market. How do we do all these things that are on the left? First of all, we do have career assessments. Those generally are used by students in the first and second year when they're deciding a major and trying to figure out a general path that they want to take. Students can make appointments in a program that we have called Handshake. That is the portal where we post jobs, we approve employers, so students can go in there and search for, let's say, an IT job that's within 100 miles of Dallas, Texas. This is an amazing tool that we have, and it's also how students access appointments. I mentioned students can get resume support. They can do that through a career coach appointment, but most students will email that resume or cover letter to Career Guide at App State, or they come to Career Studio, which right now is virtual Monday through Thursday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. If your young person has not taken advantage of this service so far this year, really encourage you to ask them to take advantage of spending some time with us before the spring semester is over. We have a lot of virtual tools, including some opportunities to practice interviews, working on their Handshake profile. And I'm going to show you an example of one of our career meetups that's on YouTube in just a moment. Every week, students get an email. So it's really important to make sure if your son or daughter says, I never hear anything from anyone at the Career Development Center, well, have they opted out of our emails? On Mondays, we send trail markers for success. On Thursdays, they receive Mountains of Opportunity, which is really sort of a highlight of recent jobs that have been posted, part-time, full-time, and internship. And then we also have a new email called My Fit, My Future that is a curated list of opportunities for students in specific target organizations or populations. So we may list in there graduate STEM programs for women of color, or there may be specific programs in there. Recently, Google was doing a career meetup for students who are first generation college students to talk about what that transition to the professional world is like. Those go out every 2 weeks. And then we have a clothing closet, and we do headshots. Those are available by appointment only. So let's have a moment to listen to one little snippet from one of our recent career meetups. This is one where one of our students, actually a student who works here in our office as the student employment assistant, was interviewing Christine Cruz Vergara, who is the vice president for Handshake, which is our tool that we mentioned. And Christine was sharing some sort of tips about leadership and how to find that career path with students. She was sharing a lot about her own experience going through that, as well as being in a leadership role in a tech company. So let me click here and let's listen to just a few pieces from that interview.
I love change. I don't like the status quo. I love being able to improve things, whether it's at a small programmatic level or at a larger sort of organizational level, or if it's even at a systemic level. In my opinion, your life is meant to be created, and it's meant to be designed, and it's meant to be crafted, right? And so you'll do that as you continue on in your career and in your life, and you don't need to have necessarily a plan because you'll figure it out as you go along. You'll put those pieces together. I'm a woman of color, and you don't see as many women of color in leadership roles in tech generally. Honestly, I was shocked. I still get goosebumps when I tell this story because I was so angry.
Definitely check out this program featuring Christine Cruz Vergara and hear her solid life lessons and career advice. You'll be happy you did. Brought to you by Student Employment, part of the Career Development Center.
So that's just a small example of the types of career meetups that we have. And I'm now going to transition back to my presentation. Great. So I mentioned career coaches. Each college here at Appalachian State University has a career coach assigned to it. Our career coaches really provide that one-on-one support to students, whether it is, I really need to find an internship, I'm not sure where to start, to I'm going to graduate in the spring and now we're in the fall, I need help refining my resume, I need help doing mock interviews, or on the wonderful place of I have some job offers and I'm trying to figure out what is the best for me. We are here to work with students individually to help them through that process. I mentioned student employment, and you heard a little bit about that from Christine Cruz Vergara. Appalachian actually employs a large number of students for a university our size. On average, every year, we'll have pretty much over 4,500 students have a job here on campus. These are wonderful experiences for students to, one, be engaged in campus, to have accountability. We know that students who work on campus generally have a slightly higher GPA and better retention than students who don't. But ultimately, this is where students are going to gain what we call career readiness skills. Those are identified by our national organization. The National Association of Colleges and Employers calls these career competencies. These 8 themes, these 8 topics represent what employers are most frequently seeking and often do not find in their candidates. Here at Appalachian, we want students to translate the activities, the events, the experiences they have, whether it's an internship, where it's a leadership experience working with a club or organization. Maybe it is a part-time job, often a part-time job on campus. We want them to think about how the skills they're gaining in those part-time jobs are leading them towards being professionally ready to go out into the world of work or to pursue a graduate degree. I mentioned internships a couple of times. A huge number of students on our campus will engage in an internship before they graduate. It's above 80%. Some of those are paid, some of those are unpaid. Some are for academic credit, some are not. About just over 30 programs actually require students to have an internship before they graduate. But even if it's not required, we strongly encourage students to find some experiential, hands-on experience to work with an employer. Currently, many of those internships are remote. They may be hybrid, some are in person, but even if they are remote, while we know that is not the same as being physically in the presence and being able to be mentored and supervised by someone, we have found that there is a richness that can happen for students in those types of experiences as well. So let's talk really briefly about jobs. Ultimately, for many students, that is what they're seeking when they finish their undergraduate or graduate degree here at Appalachian. Certainly, we want them to leave Appalachian with a strong understanding of the world, to be really prepared to be an engaged citizen, but we also want them to be able to support themselves and take care of themselves. So some students leave looking for a full-time job, some are looking for part-time jobs or service year opportunities. There are so many ways to connect with jobs here at Appalachian. Primarily getting into Handshake. Every single student has a Handshake account. We will have those Handshake accounts available for alumni. They just need to register before they leave, and they can still use it as a search tool. Most of the jobs, probably 90 to 95% of the opportunities in Handshake are entry-level positions or internships. Students can go in, they set up a profile similar to LinkedIn, and they will be able to make themselves available and attractive to employers in their particular field. I cannot overemphasize how important it is for students to use Handshake. And we're very pleased that a large number of students on our campus, over half, are actively engaged in Handshake. We encourage students to connect with employers. Right now, it's a little harder to connect with them in person, but to do that through social media, to do that through LinkedIn, to use Handshake as a way to find out about the virtual events that are going on. Not only is Handshake a place to find jobs, it's a place to find workshops that employers are offering about how do I do an internship with, say, Fidelity, or how might I get an opportunity to be in the management trainee program with Enterprise, or what's it like to be a nurse in a large urban hospital. There's so many opportunities. I honestly cannot keep up with them. We also offer many programs and events here on campus, and most of those have been virtually this year. We have job fairs. Tonight, we actually have a graduate and professional school fair for students who are interested in pursuing a graduate or professional program in the health sciences. We will have a fair in the next 2 weeks for summer camps that are still hiring. These are ongoing, and they're listed each week in the Trail Markers for Success email that students receive on Monday. And then the last piece that I think, well, not the final piece, but another piece that is really important for students and how they find jobs is for them to create a network. I tell students that don't Don't think that networking necessarily means having to dress up and put on a professional attire and come to a professional event. You're networking all the time. You're networking when you talk to your family and friends and share with them what you're interested in doing. Your peers are part of your network. Obviously, the faculty and staff here at Appalachian are, as well as professionals in the field. Your network is going to be your support system, and it's very, very important for students to curate that. So we're very excited. While we may not be as fully present on campus in a physical way that we would like to be, our office, the Career Development Center, has been extraordinarily accessible this year. And we're really excited that in fall 2021, not only will we also have opportunities for students to connect with us through Zoom and virtual events, we will be back in person, and we are going to be located in the middle of campus in the Student Union on the second floor. We're so excited about our new center and the opportunity for students just to stick their head in and find out what's going on. We will have Career Studio every afternoon, Monday through Thursday, and that really is set up to be a place for students to come together and talk about their resume, talk about the experiences that they want with other peer leaders, as well as their own peers, and again, building their network. Here are just a few images of what our new center is expected to look like. As you will see, we'll have an entryway. We will have an opportunity for our employers and organizations who are sponsors with us to have some recognition right at the front entry to our new space. It's a very bright space. This table right here is how we envision our career studio to be, where students can work in small groups. But we will also have enough space, as you can see here, that students will be able to socially distance and spread themselves out as well. One of the wonderful features about our space is, I think maybe you can see this bar here, but once our sort of, I guess, ordinary traditional office hours we close at the end of the evening, we'll be able to shut the store so that students can still use our space and career resources in the evening hours. We will have interview rooms. We'll have 4 interview rooms available where employers can meet with students. And each of these rooms will have the capacity and have a TV and a screen so that students can also come in and have a quiet place to do interviews if their residence hall or their apartment or house that they live in is not such a place. So in closing, I just want to share with you our slide that gives you our information. Again, my name is Susan McCracken. I can be reached at careercenter@appstate.edu, or my email is mccrackensd@appstate.edu. That's McCrackensd@appstate.edu. I would love to hear from you. I'm very excited that you have had the opportunity to be a parent here at Appalachian State University, and I hope that you will continue your engagement and involvement with us. Please let us know how we can help your son or daughter. And if you're an employer and you're needing to hire amazing talent, Appalachian State is the place to find that. Thank you.